Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. Good day everyone. I am Mina Dendia. I will be discuss the chapter 1 of Rizal Life and Works. A hero is born 1861. I was born in Calamba on the 19th of June 1861 between 11 and 12 o'clock at night, a few days before the full of the moon. Dr. Jose Rizal, the greatest hero of the Philippines, was a many splendor genius. He was richly endowed by God with super intellectual, moral, and physical qualities. Truly, he ranks with the world's geniuses. He was an anthropologist, botanist, businessman, cartographer, dramatist, economist, educator, engineer, essayist, entomologist, ethnologist, farmer, folklorist, geographer, grammarian, historian, horticulturist, humorist, lexicographer, linguist, musician, novelist, painter, physician, poet, philologist, philosopher, polemist, and psychologist, satirist, and sculptor, sportsman, sociologist, surveyor, traveler, and geologist. More than all this, he was a patriot, hero, and martyr. Unlike many geniuses, he consecrated his God-given talent and even sacrificed his own life for the redemption and welfare of his people. Verily a man of his heroism and versatility affairs but one in the history of any nation. Kilala naman natin si Jose Protasio Rizal ay isang pambansang bayani ng Pilipinas. Siya ay isinilang sa Calamba, Laguna noong June 19, 1861. Siya rin ay isang dakilang manunulat at isinulat niya ang nobelang Noli Me Tangere at El Filibusterismo. In 1861, the year when Rizal was born, the Philippines was browsing redolently beneath the shadow of the Cruz. Paz Hispanica reigned over the entire archipelago. The people, despite their bondage to Spain, were enjoying their serene, simple, and Christian way of life. Comparatively speaking, they were better off than the subject peoples and the English, Dutch, and the Portuguese colonies during that age. The Spanish governor general then was a good militarist. General Jose Lemery, whose achievement worthy of historical citation was the establishment of the politico-military government of the Visayas and Mindanao. No bloody Muslim, fanatical red, no serious native uprising, no flightful upsurge of banditry, and no threat of foreign invasion, mere the general tranquility of the land. And dito sa taong to, sa 1861, dito pinanganak si Dr. Jose Rizal, and ito din yung araw na nakalaya yung mga taong inalipin ng mga Espanya. And dito din nila naranasan yung katahimikan at simpleng pamumuhay. Beyond the frontiers of the Philippines, the world war was sitting in the throes of political strife, social upheavals, and international intrigues. Gargantua, China, was prostrate, impotent to to stop the predatory Western powers who were busy looting her, lynching her. Total wars with England and France were ended by the infamous Conventions of Peking, October 22, 1860, in which the lost more territories and was forced to grant more commercial concessions to the imperialist foreign devils to worsen matters for the tottering Manchu dynasty. The Taiping Rebellion 1564 was revolting the rich province south of the Yangtze. The imperialist Western powers flushed with their victories in China tried to make a repeat performance in Japan, whose door was unlocked in 1855 to the world by the American Commodore Matthew C. Perry. Their efforts were, however, foiled by the valiant Japanese people, whose Bushido spirit outmatched the intruders' superior fire. The power and in Indochina, the French troops of Emperor Napoleon III, strategically led by Filipino soldiers from Manila, were smashing down Anamis residential. In 1858, Sidon was captured by the combined Filipino-French force, and 4 years later France acquired Cochin, China. By fire and sword, the British East India Company armies were establishing the British Raj rule all over the subcontinent of India and beyond the western frontiers to Burma. The destructive Sepoy Mutiny of 1857 last serious resistance to British imperialism in India was suppressed at the staggering cost of money and human lives. England had to fight 3 Burmese wars, and 1885-86 to subdue Burma, and January 1861 Benito Juarez, India blood hero, entered Mexico City at the head of his victorious Indian and Mexican troops and proclaimed the restoration of Mexican independence. Archduke Maximilian of Austria, who had dreamed of ruling Mexico with the help of French bayonets, was executed. In March of 1861 saw the emancipation of the Serbs in Russia by Caesar Alexander. The following month of civil war exploded in the United States over the slavery question and the issue of secession. Europe was in turmoil. The German states were being forced into one nation by Bismarck, notwithstanding Austrians' opposition south of the Alps. Cavour and Garibaldi, in defense of Austrians were relying the Italians to unite and fight for Italia Redenta. In France, the Second Napoleonic Empire, beset by domestic and foreign troubles and misgoverned by Napoleon, was crumbling to peace. Only England, of all the great powers, was experiencing relative peace and prosperity under the ever rule of Queen Victoria. She defeated Russia and the Crimean War 1853-56, acquired rich colonies in the east, and attained a new height of glory in diplomacy and literature. Spain, unlike England, fell under the rule of a woman, Queen Isabella. 1833-68, she had lost her rich colonies except Cuba and Puerto Rico and the New World. Her decadence was accelerated by the colonial Carlist War, the ruinous political squabbles, and the bungling policies of her monarchs. Such was the global situation at the time of Rizal advent. Near midnight of Wednesday, June 19, 1861, when the Philippines was in deep slumber, a fair baby boy was born to the Rizal family in Calamba, Laguna. It was a moon night, being a few days before the full of the moon. The delivery was exceedingly difficult and the mother almost dead. Her seemingly miraculous survival was a tribute to our baby, to Our Lady of Peace and Good Voyage. Years later, Jose Rizal recalled in his boyhood memoirs, "It was a Wednesday, and my arrival in this valley of tears would have cost my mother her life, has she not vowed to the Virgin of Antipolo that she would take me on a pilgrimage to that shrine." The baby boy was baptized by Rev. Rufino Colantes in the Catholic Church of Calamba on June 22, 1861. 3 days after his birth, his godfather was Rev. Pedro Casafias. He was named Jose by his pious mother in honor of Santa Joseph. It was customary for Catholic parents to name their children after the saints. The full name of the baby boy, who was destined become the greatest genius and hero of the Philippines, Jose Protasio Rizal Mercado y Alonso Realonda. Jose was the seventh of the 11 children of Francisco Mercado Rizal, and Teodoro Alonso Realonda. Was both father and mother were Filipino parents, devoutly religious, educator, industrious, affectionate but strict, hospitable, and civic spirited. The hero's father, Francisco, 1898, was born Pisar, Laguna on May 11, 1818, and died in Manila January 6, 1898 at the age of 80. He was educated from having studied Latin and philosophy at the College of the San Jose in Manila. In early manhood, after his mother's death, the moved to Calamba and became a tenant farmer of the Dominical estate. He married a college grad, Maniliba Teodora Alonso Realonda on June 28, 1843. Dr. Rizal, his greatest child, affectionately called him a model of the fun. He was a quiet, serious, flunderman, taller than the average Filipino, with wide shoulders, round complexion, prominent forehead, large dark eyes, large ears, and firm, whose